All right, Sam, real quick, we need you to do our intro.
Okay.
You just say, this podcast is brought to you and powered by Sunday Cool.
Sunday Cool.
Watch this or listen.
Watch this or listen.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
This podcast is brought to you by Sunday Cool. Watch or listen. Is that it?
He forgot to watch this.
Watch this or listen.
You also forgot powered. Did I say powered?
Yes,
I think you said powered.
I think he said it, didn't he?
Just
This
say powered.
podcast is powered by Sunday Cool.
Brought to you and brought to you.
Yeah.
Powered and brought to you by Sunday Cool.
Brought to you and powered.
Okay, brought to you and powered by Sunday Cool.
Yeah.
Watch, hear, or listen.
That works. That works.
All that's in it.
Okay.
That's
Ho, ho, ho! Santa's here, and I've got a deal sweeter than the Christmas cookies. It's the Sunday Cool Super Soft Stock Up Spectacular! Looking for the softest fleece on this side of the North Pole? Look no further! These bad boys will keep you cozier than a snowy day in your PJs. But wait, don't you dare wait till last minute to start planning your 2025 shirt orders. No! You know who's on the naughty list? Bad planners! Get ahead of the game with tees, fleece, hats, stickers. Remember, early birds get the goods and avoid the Christmas crunch. And just like Rudolph said, plan now, shine later. Call, click, or message Sunday Cool today, because if it's gotta be soft, it's gotta be Sunday Cool. And from all of us here at Sunday Cool, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And don't forget to start planning. You know why? Because Santa's watching!
Is this fine like this?
If it sounds crazy, Andrew will yell at you.
Okay, perfect.
Andrew, you hit the
I only respond to verbal abuse.
going. Okay. Just making sure.
We did have a podcast one time where I missed record on a camera.
That happens to everybody, and it's usually the most fire episode. And you're like, that's going to change our lives. And someone looks down, I didn't record it. Why?
Yeah, hour and a half from now, we're going to be like, Sam, you mind hanging out for another hour and a half?
Let's pass the accountability. Every camera has a red light, right?
You know?
Yes.
3, 4, 5.
This is counting.
We did it, folks.
We're here.
Oh,
Well, welcome, Sam.
Hey, we're in it, dude.
We're in it.
Tripoli is in
I
the
love
building.
it. That's what the kids want. They want you to get in it.
Get in it.
Right off the diving board.
Right off.
I introduced too many people on my show. No more. We're in it.
What's your? You feel like you have a good radio voice?
I
For
feel
intro?
like I have an okay radio voice.
Yeah.
I've had some interviews with people. I'm like, that voice is just magical. Even people I think are full of BS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're just great speakers, and
Yeah.
you could listen to them, even though you're like, oh, you're wrong. But man, you sound great.
Dude, if Gary V talks so fast and high pitch, I think anything he said, I would listen to him. Like, just no matter what. Like, you could,
Here's the thing about your life, all right?
you gotta put your legs in 1 foot at a time.
Actually, why not do both at a time, right?
Why are we wasting time putting one leg in at a time when you could literally save 5 seconds every day?
Jump right in.
You know how many is that a year? 33 million seconds. You're wasting. I feel like we're getting farther and farther away from Gary V voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're actually probably pretty close.
Anyways, you have broken our record for the latest podcast we've ever filmed in the studio.
Hey, dude, making a mark, bro. That's what it's all about. Make your mark.
Hey, LA time.
Try to take it. Try
LA
somebody.
time.
Try to take it.
It's only like 1 p.m. in
I don't know,
California.
man. I was like so excited. Got in my car, rocking and rolling, and then I just pull into this like track mall of like had like a year-long Halloween store energy, and I'm like I'm in the wrong place. And I look down, it just changed the address on me and sent me to the wrong place.
oh, geez.
And then I'm just cursing as I'm driving as fast as I can through. I loved it, dude. Like, thank you for letting me drive through all this area. This is cryptid country.
Big time, dude.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for Mothman and Dogman. I was all
A lot of
into
Native
that.
American ghosts running around.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And huge Christmas ornaments everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I saw like a Godzilla size snowman on the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
You don't see in LA.
They
There's
say
no room.
Everything's bigger in Florida. That's what they
They
always
do
say.
say that. Yeah.
Who says that?
Everyone.
Is that? You guys got a T-shirt?
A lot of people say that. Oh, man. Well, Hey, well, welcome back, Lil, too.
Whoa, Lily's here!
What happened?
Oh my goodness, she's been gone for like a month.
5 weeks. 5 weeks
Yes.
Lily's been gone.
I'm back.
Our child had pneumonia,
Mm-hmm.
and
Aw.
now she's better.
She's better.
How old is the kid?
Two.
She'll be 2 this month.
First kid, money kids?
Second kid.
Second
Yeah.
kid's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
she's
kids.
better. She was very sick. It was terrible.
So Lil's back.
I'm back.
Hey.
So all the commenters that are like,
I don't want to watch it if Lil's not on.
Yeah, where's Lily?
well, guess what? Now you got to watch the whole thing.
I know.
Now you have to compliment nice things about us
Yeah.
and Sam.
Yeah, it's their
And
turn.
Sam.
Say something nice. I'm dead on the inside.
Please fill him up.
Well, Sam, I don't know if you've ever watched our podcast, but we typically start out with a song. Would you like a song?
Do I got to make it up, or are you guys just gonna?
No, we get to perform for you.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we're just
You cool
gonna,
with that?
Cool. Yeah.
We're gonna serenade you.
I love you guys. I was so excited when you reached out.
We'll just come up with something, right?
Do you want some smelling salts?
Does that help?
Yeah. I don't know if I can't read the lyrics
You want
anymore.
No.
No.
No, thank you.
Gotta get in the zone, dude.
Get it? Hold it. Find it. Find it. Find it. You got it?
I felt like this part of my body
Yeah.
went into a black hole.
Yeah, my left eye just got punched from the inside.
Crank.
Dude, what if my eye just literally just fell out in the middle of the
All
song?
right, let me see it.
Yeah, Sam, there we go.
Let me see it.
Have you done this on Rogan yet?
I've never done it.
Hey, this is it right here.
So how long do I sniff? Because I'm a sniffer.
Don't put your nose in
I'll
it.
go
Minor.
long.
Maybe like right here. Just get a good whiff.
It's better to like start the
here.
draw and make
No,
the
yeah,
approach.
Get it right up there, right there. Not, yeah, ride that wave, dude.
I gotta join the party.
Ride that wave. Lily, you gonna try?
No
Oh,
chance.
come on.
Oh gosh.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Lily, come
No, I
on. You're the
can't.
only one.
I
You're
can't.
the only one who has
Oh my gosh.
peer pressure.
Just a tiny one.
Feels like
How'd
a
it get
cat
worse?
peed on this side of my throat.
Oh
How'd
my
it-
god.
How'd it get worse?
Come on.
I don't want to. I did a little bit.
Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
breathing
The
so
atomic-
much better.
Atomic Rhino, ladies.
Hey!
Nice job.
Dude, I had
First
full
form.
faith that would get like weaker. That is
Whoa.
not weak.
Dude,
Tears
it's
to
perfect
my
though. Wakes
eyes.
you up.
Yeah.
What do they use that for? Is that like to resuscitate fainters or
No,
something?
dead people.
Dead
To
people.
resurrect dead
Yeah.
people. They just put them
Yeah,
under.
this sounds about right.
Yeah.
And to power lift 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, seriously.
All right.
Here we go.
We'll just come up with something.
Yeah,
You
we'll
cool with
just-
that?
Gosh,
Yeah.
it's like
All right.
in my throat.
Andy, what? Don't say it.
I gotta say it.
Don't freaking say it, man.
Guess what?
What?
The song that we just did was flagged.
The one with Sam Tripoli?
The one with Sam Tripoli.
It was so good.
It was so good, and it got flagged, and it has to be taken off of YouTube.
But it was the Hallelujah cover by Rufus
I
Wainwright.
know. They just want to hurt us now.
Well, now no one could ever listen to it?
Not true.
What? What do you mean?
You can go to Spotify or Apple or Patreon and listen to the song.
It's good news, I guess.
Okay, go do it after you watch this. Don't do that.
Dumb dogs ain't for free!
This is my private parts.
Wow, so good.
Fire.
You cut me off on one
You
line.
skipped a line.
I went a little slow.
I know, but we were in rhythm to keep on going.
We could figure it out though.
I was trying to figure it out.
I
I'm
thought
sorry.
that was
I
great.
cut it off. a little.
Behind the scenes.
Either way, man, it was good.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
That was fire.
Masterpiece.
I was like, that's amazing.
Did you hear a lisp?
I did, yeah. I it was a roller coaster. I didn't know where you were going. I love that you commented on Notre Dame. Did you see what they finished?
They did, yeah.
And it looked
They rang
like,
the bells
Oh, did they?
for the first time, like 2 weeks ago.
$1 billion.
Crazy.
Crazy, $1
Chump
billion.
change.
Notre Dame.
Very good.
Same bell. Oh, yeah, we're having a lot of fun.
That would actually be kind of cool.
What?
Like if Notre Dame, like Hunchback, was based in like China or something, and like that would be a really cool movie.
Notre
Like,
Dame.
It was like kind of like a ninja a little bit. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
But he was psychic too?
Yeah. Let's just keep adding. He has wings.
That
a
would be
gargoyle?
cool. But you know, it'd be really cool.
What would be cool?
So we all just got quiet for a second. I know we had fun singing that song.
What's up?
Well, we got a question. Sam, we always start with a question from a viewer.
Yep.
And today's question.
No.
Good to know.
We've got his answer locked in. So
No.
we're good. Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's December, right? Happy holidays.
Yeah, sure. I guess.
Merry Christmas.
Sure.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah. What are you getting at?
Happy Pokemon.
Okay.
Right? Is that what? No.
No.
That's April.
Either
Don't
way,
forget Scientology.
either way, guys, we really need to take this question very serious. And Lil, we're very happy that you're back.
Mm-hmm.
And man, we are so excited because we really set this question up for you to succeed. Okay.
All right.
And I mean, in Christmas spirit,
Yeah.
in holiday spirit, today's question sent by a viewer. Should we celebrate the holidays?
Wow. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to agree with Sam because he, kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah, you
but
said no
I would say
earlier?
no. I would say no.
No. Don't celebrate the holidays.
I would say
Oh,
no.
okay.
No.
Yeah, I would say no.
No.
Yeah. What would you say?
Yeah, see, that's the only answer. No.
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, Lil, what do you... Should we celebrate the holidays?
Yes.
Oh.
Lily,
We should celebrate the holidays.
we literally, it's like T-ball. We put the ball up there for you to hit it and swing it, to make your
Man.
comeback, and now you're making everyone upset.
It's been 5 weeks,
It's
Lil.
been 5 weeks.
5 weeks, Lil, and I really thought this time we were trying to help her out.
Yeah.
I would say, right?
yeah,
I mean, Sam, you're trying to help her out.
I'm a helper.
You're a helper. Sam's a helper, Lil.
I'm a Santa helper.
A Santa helper, and you just you come in here and you just say yes.
And we try to give her a little softball, just like
Yeah.
she's back, she's maybe not used to it. Let's give her an easy question.
So all
Should we celebrate
holidays,
holidays?
all holidays, Lil, and of course we're talking about mainly the holiday El Calacho, which is celebrated in Spain, which is also known as, quote, Baby Jumping Festival. And of course, this festival, this holiday, Lil, is the event that involves men dressed as devils leaping over infants
Oh my God.
laid on a mattress in the street. And this ritual is believed to cleanse the babies of the original sin, but it's faced criticism due to safety concerns. And of course, Lil, you think that we should do that?
You think we should celebrate that?
Jeez.
That we should celebrate, that we should put these poor children, Andy.
Yeah,
these
so-
poor Spanish children
In
the
situations, in situations where they could potentially, most likely, get hurt by the devil himself.
by the
my
devil
gosh.
stomping on them, Lil.
I didn't say that.
Lil's just like, yes, let's celebrate that.
But I advocate for that. I'm Lily. I like putting babies in danger.
Oh.
Especially Spanish ones.
Was that
Stop
Lily?
it. I never said that.
Of course. I mean, Sam, I'm grateful that you're here and that you were able to speak into this
Yeah.
because it just seems like my wife, who I thought I knew, really cared about children.
I've been
cared
thrown
about-
off.
Yeah, cared about their safety. I mean, Sam, of course you care about the safety of babies.
I only care about
You would never want a Satan man to jump over your
Never,
baby.
never.
Never,
No.
Lil. And we just met Sam, and I thought I knew you.
I
I've
thought I
known
knew
you
you
for a
guys
long
too.
time.
Okay, relax.
Well, I mean,
I wish you would.
I wish you would too. Well, I guess you guys heard it here first. Lily wants Devilman to jump over babies, especially Spanish babies.
Whoa.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Did I say ninja? I meant butterfly. The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful creations. Does it empty your mind?
You learn martial arts! Ninjas attack!
Hey, that was great.
Gosh.
Good job, everybody. Good job.
That never gets easier.
It's getting longer and longer. Like, your
I know.
accusations are
Seriously.
getting
I
longer.
think you guys are really enjoying it.
When
at
I'm
this
adding music underneath it, I'm like, wow, this is like 4 tracks deep, and it's like having to escalate the whole time.
You know
thing is-
how
sweating.
hard it was to find a holiday though that was controversial. 'Cause, like we looked up like what holidays are controversial and like
A lot of them like have like maybe hidden history meanings,
Yeah,
or like
100.
maybe like it has like bad origins, but we still like Thanksgiving, we still celebrate. But it's like ones that are like this is insane. And that one I saw, I was like, yeah, el cockrocho, no
That's
thank
pretty
you.
crazy. I wonder what the lore was and how they established a holiday like that. They're like, for sure this will help,
Yeah.
right?
we need all the men in town to dress up like Satan
And jump over your
and
baby.
jump over your infant
I was just
in the
asking,
street.
And if you don't do it, you don't care about your infant.
I was just asking if you could baptize my kid. We'd rather have a Satan man jump over him.
That has connections to fallen angel stuff too. Like there's just places where they celebrate fallen angels, and I've had guests on my show that basically talk about all the fallen angels look like clowns.
Clowns.
What?
Clowns, and that's where clowns come from. Are fallen angels.
No way. I've never heard that.
Never in my life have I heard that.
100%. There's actually movies and books about it, like clowns, fallen angels look like clowns.
Dude, we
Think
talk
about why they're so scary in like our culture.
That's why people have fear of clowns.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
My Uncle Jeff has a legit phobia of clowns.
My
Like
sister
a
as well.
legit phobia.
Interesting.
I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah.
Of clowns.
Yeah, that's what they think they look like. They bright red hair.
Well, the red hair, that's a
Yeah.
common
Yeah.
denominator within like fallen angels and Nephilim and
Yeah.
stuff. Interesting.
Can we
Wow.
make sure that like we can clip that part of the reel? And it's like where he's like, I've never heard of this, clowns. And then it's just him saying, yeah, big red hair, blue nose, like you've never heard of clowns.
They have chickens and honk their noses.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Never seen this before.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. I mean, you dove right into it, man. Like we love talking about just the mysteries of like just the dawn of man and God and fallen angels and the Nephilim. Like we dive like into it, man.
This
and
podcast has like been a journey of that too. Like
I
as
love
we've
it.
all started like believing more of those stories, like for sure.
Mhm.
Started out like I don't know about this apocryphal stuff that he's diving into, and then as like we go looking deeper and deeper into it, like I have a Bible degree and we never talked about that stuff at Bible college.
That's
It was,
so
like, taboo.
interesting.
Yeah.
I've never met anybody with a Bible degree.
I bet
And
you,
I love
bet you
that.
have. They're
I
just
love that.
more.
I'm in
humble than
LA.
I am.
Good luck. Good luck.
As soon as you
But-
cross the state line, the degree's just
Yeah.
what is happening? Oh.
Well, Sam, have you ever read the Book of Enoch?
Yeah, I mean, I've read parts of it. I
Yeah.
mean, my journey to Christianity is like it's growing and it's going, but I'm into all that. I'm into all of it. I'm just like hidden history is my favorite topic.
Dope.
It's the most interesting
It
to
is.
me,
Yeah.
and because like everything's an inversion, and you start to understand it. It's like everything's about getting you away from God. High
Yeah.
vibrational, low vibrational. Like I'm in recovery, and like I always talk about simple versus easy, and like everything in our culture is easy,
Yeah.
but everything spiritual is simple. Like drugs, alcohol, adult movies, all that stuff is easy, quick fix stuff that gets you away from, the God, and then like prayers, working out, helping others, abundance, all that stuff is simple.
yeah.
And has the opposite effect. One gives life, one tears it apart.
100
Yeah.
and then everything in our history has been like pushing us away from the simple and getting because I always say this, like conspiracy always leads to spirituality. Because you always go, what are you lying to me? You're lying to me about
interesting.
that. What else do you? And then it just keeps going. And then at the basis of it is our connection with God.
Yeah. And you talk about like why we talk about that so much. We didn't at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think that's what's amazing is that
Yeah.
God is using like this platform. Let's talk about everyday conspiracies like CERN, the government, all these things. But then you dive down deeper and it's like, obviously it's led us to all of this stuff, which is what you're saying. It's like, yeah, that's the end of the tunnel. That's the rabbit hole that we're all heading down.
I mean, because like if you think about it, like conspiracies, it's like you're seeking for the truth, right?
Yeah.
And as a believer, which we all are, it's like we know that our truth is, or the truth is God in Christ, right? So like it all does, it is very spiritual to where it does lead to that pinnacle of like just truth.
Yeah,
like
it gives you a
it's
different
like-
lens to look
yeah.
through as well. Like it's just when you find God, you're like, oh yeah, you can kind of almost see like how it all works. And
Yeah, and that's been my journey with like really just these past 2 years. I've always really been into conspiracy theories ever since 3rd grade. Shout out 9/11.
And since you believe in like the flat
Oh,
Earth for a minute,
you were
Third grade.
Wow, I
Yeah.
am old.
where were you during 9/11?
I was working at a hotel as a valet, and I came up, and the guy who was kind of in charge is like, "Yeah, did you hear?" I go, "No, what?" Yeah, they attacked us, and he said so like plain. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I went in and I saw the videos, and it's super crazy. There's all these moments in our history that kind of changed the way we look at stuff, and that
Yeah.
was it. And it's interesting. And then like the story that's told where we like, gas or like jet fuel melts beams, but this passport is perfect. And,
Yeah.
and my dad always raised me very paranoid, like believe
Same.
nothing you hear,
Yeah.
half what you see. Now it's like, don't believe anything you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Unless you get it from a
'cause of
trust.
AI and all that stuff,
it's
dude.
getting
It's
so
like, what
crazy.
can you believe?
Right.
Like even with like, okay, we're gonna just be jumping around a lot tonight.
Let's go.
But with all the I don't know if you've seen it, but it really seems like these past 2 weeks there's just been a plethora of like civilian UFO videos, right?
Oh, my
So,
friend,
like-
my friend in New Jersey.
New Jersey's
way
the
before
big
everybody
one.
started talking about it, he's called me up. He's like my best friend. We run a comedy club in Jersey called the Dojo of Comedy, and
nice.
Cool.
he's like, dude, I'm seeing these drones. I go, what? He goes, I'm seeing these drones. They're so big. He goes, they're the size of SUVs.
That's what they're saying.
And,
yeah.
and they sit in the sky way too long for a civilian.
Like an airplane.
Yeah, they just sit
Yeah.
there.
Oof. Scary.
But that's what the crazy thing is. It's like the FBI, the Pentagon and stuff, they're calling them drones. Like they keep calling them drones. And it's like, well, what's the definition of a drone, right? It would
Yeah.
have to be like an unmanned. So like are they just saying drone as like a cover up for like we don't know what this is? So like let's just say drone because that's more of a like secure, safe thing to say.
Yeah, it's more common.
But I mean,
Well, it's
with
less
New
alarming.
Jersey, there's been at least 1,000 people recorded like these like drones, what they're calling them, in the sky. And I mean, some of them look a little suspect, like they kind of look like planes.
Right.
But there's others that are just like they're literally just sitting there, and they're just kind of like doing this, and then it's like 3 of them.
I suppose my question would be though too, if they are drones, what are you guys doing? Are you surveilling us now?
Yeah, and why is the
Regularly?
FBI being like, oh well, yeah, we're gonna investigate it? It's like, well, if they're drones, like
Wouldn't
if
you know?
that are the size
Yeah.
of cars, you should probably figure that out pretty quick. You know?
Yeah, in our airspace.
Yeah, in our airspace. That's the weirdest thing. I if you're asking me what they're doing it's they're collecting data on how people are going to react to this.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
true.
Yeah.
I mean,
How are
smart.
people going to react to seeing something in the sky that they can't explain?
Yeah.
Is it going to be mass panic? Is it going to be like, oh, who cares? Like, this is all data to me. Everything is data. How are you acting to this? How are you going to react to this? All that stuff. That's what it seems to me because, we had the balloon up there and, we're like,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
supposed to have the greatest military of all time. They're like, oh my God, there's a balloon.
But they let it float across the entire country.
Yeah, the entire country.
Well, they
Crazy.
didn't authorize the strike, which is nuts. Like,
Yeah.
it's like in our airspace, no permission to be there. I'm all for just absolutely lighting that thing up and taking it out of the sky.
And then 2 weeks later, like, yeah, we shot down this unknown
in Alaska, right? Or
or Canada.
Yeah.
We shot down this unknown spacecraft. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But no
You just-
pictures.
you were-
We're not taking pictures of it. We're not going to show it.
So crazy, right?
Yeah. It's so
I
weird.
took out my iPhone, but it's Canada. It was too cold, so I couldn't get the gloves. And it was
Yeah.
You get it.
No, it's weird. It's we've been talking about it a lot these past couple of weeks of just like the congressional hearings with the UFO UAP stuff. And my theory, which I'm interested to hear your theory, which it sounds pretty similar, is just like it's like a conditioning of seeing how the public reacts to it. And like what is the ultimate goal of like this whole like is there going to be an invasion? what is the invasion? Is it going to be like the government, or is it going to be an actual entity, or is it going to be both? You know, like
Right.
it's like is it a weird
Is that the deception?
partnership? Yeah.
Well,
What
I
if
mean,
the
if you're asking me, the last card they have to play is Operation Bluebeam. They've seen to play all their cards, and they
Yeah.
keep trying to run it over these plays over and over again. Like they brought back Monkeypox, they bring back all this stuff, and we're not falling for it.
Yeah.
So the last card is like alien invasion. Now the question is it real or is it the government? You know, I've had guests on my show that have talked about how, regardless of whether you buy into this, that they've talked to entities, and the entities have said that the real Project Bluebeam is that something real is going to happen, and the government's going to try to take credit for it. So you believe that they're behind it instead of maybe there's a spiritual moment coming.
Yeah.
All I know is it's psychological to
Yeah.
manipulate us.
So you're saying that like that the idea behind Project Bluebeam is like they're anticipating some type of
something's
attack,
coming.
and so
Something
they're
real.
trying to
This
so they're
was
conditioning us.
her.
Got it. Okay.
She's one of the
Earth-
people.
okay,
She's
got
up from Australia, and she's one of those people that talk about the Intergalactic Council.
Yeah,
Okay.
You know, that's out there,
as we all do.
as we all do.
That's what I'll do. Yes.
At Thanksgiving.
Attractive women love to talk about the Intergalactic
Yeah.
Council. I don't know
I
what
don't-
it is,
it's-
but they're all hot chicks.
Uh,
And we all just put up with it because they have symmetrical faces.
Or
Your
that they're-
face is perfectly symmetrical. I will hear about the Intergalactic Group.
Or they're just Australian. We're afraid they're going to kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
True.
just kill us with a knife or something.
Well, speaking of galactic intercouncil stuff, great segue. I came across this video where they're talking about the CIA declassified, so like the remote viewers, you know, that like can supposedly, they're basically like psychics,
Yeah.
right? So they can just like see future, past, current stuff in different locations on Earth and in the galaxy, apparently.
Chronovisor, right?
All CIA founded, super weird. But apparently in the 80s, 1988, there was this remote viewer, and they rank it based off of accuracy. They do A to like F, I believe. And this one was circled like a B. So it was like a more accurate remote viewing session. And his task was to look up where this is so weird, the Galactic Federation headquarters is at. Did you see this?
I haven't seen this, but that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. And
Right.
so this whole CIA document is just absolutely wild. So he's doing his whole little thing, right? And he talks about the surroundings where this Galactic Federation's at. It's in the US, or it's on our world, the Federation headquarters
It's in Earth.
on Earth.
In Earth.
Listen,
It could be an Earth.
and in the
Be patient.
yeah,
Okay.
In and on.
in and on. But he like describes this place, and there's this whole write up. This is the actual CIA document, right? So it's like
Yeah.
the guy's writing what this guy's talking about. But he talks about the surroundings, and there's these vast, huge mountains, very rocky, and then there's like a flat plateau, and then there's a giant lake. And the guy says it seems a lot like Lake Titicaca in Peru.
Mm.
Okay.
Maybe I pronounced that wrong because you laughed.
Well, I mean,
don't know for any other
obviously,
reason.
obviously.
Titicaca.
I don't
Yeah.
know where I think you were gonna say that. Something else.
I was thinking Shambhala. It sounds like Shambhala a little bit, right? From
Or
the
it sounds
Rorik
like that
people?
place, you know, where we talked about how the lake could have been like an energy conductor.
Oh man, I don't know.
I don't think that was a lake. I think it used to be a lake. You're thinking about China.
In China.
Yeah.
Yeah, there used to be an old lake bed,
Oh, okay.
or
Okay.
it used to be like salt water.
They use salt water from a lake running through tunnels in the mountain.
Either way,
Yeah.
this guy talks about he entered this chamber and there was this hallway, and then it led up to an incline hallway, just these megalith stone pillars on all sides, and he walked up it, and in the middle of this room was this altar. And he said he went and laid on this altar. This is the CIA remote viewer.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden from above, there was this, he said it was this beaming white light that went from his head to his toes. And then he looked, and there was a man, or he said an entity in a white robe standing there, and then he looked over, and there was a group of entities standing in white robes, and one of them walked over to him and then placed his hands on him, and it was the weirdest stuff ever, right? Like this super weird. He said it seemed very spiritual, religious. He didn't know how to describe it. This was in 1988, right? Lake Titicaca.
Correct.
I can't stop laughing.
There has to be a better way to pronounce it.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Just make up
The
a better
commenters
way.
will let us know.
But it was in 2000 that these Italian archaeologists discovered that at the bottom of Lake Titicaca was this ancient city with an ancient temple
No way.
that really matched up with this CIA document.
Oh my gosh.
Don't
Yeah.
So wait, that means hold on a second. He was underground that whole time?
We don't, I mean,
Under
I
a
don't know.
lake?
I mean,
If we talk about these UFOs coming up from the water,
Wow.
That's a big
Right?
thing too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how much of that we've explored space more than we've explored the ocean.
yeah.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
They say, well, what can we learn? It's like, it seems like you can learn a lot.
quite a bit.
Yeah, it
actually.
seems
Dude,
like because the
I have-
government's literally saying there's things in this ocean. Hey, let's go figure that out.
They
or
already know.
Or we're
They've
not allowed.
explored.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, whoever has the most powerful navy seems to have the most powerful military. It's like really is your navy determines everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, I'm still hung up on the fact that the dude went into a room and said, "Altar, I'm gonna lay on that."
Oh, I know.
I know, right?
I'm
Hold
trying
on,
to figure
wait,
that
there,
out.
he has a picture
Well,
of
it's
it.
just remote
Rude
viewing.
guess. What if I just walked in and just laid on your desk as you guys were podcasting?
We'll go find a dark
Look at
corner and
his
wait.
his teammate in the remote viewing thing drew a picture of it, of like him laying on the thing and these robed beings,
They just drew
coming over
straws.
to
So who is that?
just a remote viewer.
I know, but I'm saying like, who is he seeing?
Oh yeah, I know.
Who are those people in the robes?
But yeah, like
Who are these people?
These people in robes.
those people in robes. There's a lot of light on me.
I lay down on an altar.
Caca. This says an Italian team discovered evidence of a pre-Columbian construction in 2000, including a large temple, paved road, and a retaining wall and terraced for crops. The monuments were estimated between 1,000 and 1,500 years old. But it's like, how do you even base that? Like, if I feel like all those dates are like so wrong with like predating stuff.
Just make it up.
Yeah,
for real.
because I mean, they talk about too. There's like megalithic blocks
Yeah.
underwater, and it's like
Yeah.
it's also the highest lake in the world.
Oh,
Like
really?
Yeah.
highest up in elevation?
Elevation, yeah, it's 12,500 feet above sea level.
Wow.
What if there's significance to that?
I mean, well, we talk about like fallen angels and stuff,
Yeah.
like, and the importance of mountains and whatnot. Like the fallen angels descended upon Mount Hermon and whatnot. And so, like, if
So
there's
crazy.
if there's a body of water that is the highest elevation on Earth,
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy.
And
Yeah.
dude, and like the Bible talks about how God was like jealous for the attention of his people, or even just defending his own glory. So if there was this like fallen angel civilization high in the mountains and like we're above destruction, for like God to flood it and be like, "You're not beyond my reach."
Oh, gosh.
So
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
That's what he did with Pharaoh. Like I
Yeah.
use that example all the time, but at the Egyptian thunder god's altar, that's where the Red Sea is. That's where that parted. So.
and there's a lot of folklore and stuff in South America of like Nephilim
Yeah.
and giants and weird stuff. Even the Nazis, that's where they like relocated.
Oh,
is in
yeah.
South America, you know?
That conversation's so crazy.
Dude,
We
you could
just
go
did
down.
2 huge episodes on it. It's
Yeah.
our understanding of that whole thing is so off.
It's like we have like 2% of it, I think.
What's something that really stands out to you on it that a lot of people don't know?
Just about how basically like, the Nazis basically set up your modern day globalism. They set up how to basically, if we see what happened with, Joe Biden pardoning his son with, basically Burmesa or however you pronounce it. All these dummy corporations. I mean, you would, there were Nazi hunters that would go down Latin America and be told by the local Jewish community, don't come here, get out of here, because they just had this thing working together. And it's like, it's crazy. Whole German towns down there with
Really?
like, we're not talking like 20.
Yeah.
We're talking like 50,000 Nazis. And there is an argument that, what was Hitler's wife's name?
Was it Lily?
Watch it.
Something Eva Braun, I think it was her
sounds
name.
right.
That she might have died only in like 2012.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, like she
Oh my
lived for a
gosh.
very long time, and so it's like all that stuff is like we just like if we're trying to solve cases, we're getting bad data, we're
Yeah.
getting bad evidence,
Yeah.
so we can't get. And it's just really it gets back into like, Antarctica and all that stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what is in Antarctica?
No, seriously.
Dude, I want to go down there so bad. Would you go down with us if we went?
I mean, it gets really. I've known people who went down there. It gets really choppy, dangerous when you're trying to get to shore. It gets like super choppy.
What about
dangerous.
flying in?
Sam, if you're scared, just say it, man.
I am scared.
We just find out Sam can't swim.
Josh,
Can you
would
swim?
be so sick. You would get like
What do you get fly in?
irreparably sick.
Mr. Beast flew in. If Mr. Beast can fly in, we can fly in.
It's interesting because there's only two things that the entire world, no matter how much these countries might be at war with each other, the only two things they agree on is space and Antarctica.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Yeah,
But
it's true.
they almost seem like they agree more on Antarctica than they do space.
Yeah.
Because we got other countries blowing up other satellites, but Antarctica is just like no one.
No,
we're
not
all
interested.
we're all good with this,
But
right?
we had the Joe Biden administration almost trying to start World War III, yet we have a space station together. That's
Yeah.
gonna be an awkward conversation.
That's weird, dude.
It would be super awkward just being up there like as it's happening.
Yeah, you're like,
And it's like,
There's a movie.
hi, Ivan. Hello.
They made a movie out of it.
yeah, they
Really?
did,
Yeah, it was World War III, and it was Russians and Americans, and they literally fought each other on the International Space Station.
They fight each other?
Yeah.
But they're scientists. They're not warriors.
Hey,
No.
when
You
countries go
die,
to war,
you die for the country.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
quite the
Who won?
assertion right there.
there's no space and no rules in space.
That's right.
There's no rules in space.
Who
Space
commandeered the International Space Station? Who wins?
I don't know. I stopped watching
Well,
it.
we
Don't,
made
don't spoil it.
we made the movie, so
Probably us. Probably us.
That was probably one that ran by the Pentagon.
Or it was
Yeah.
A24 and Russia wins.
No, then that would be like some country comes out of nowhere and
Yeah.
kills him at the end.
North Korea.
Yeah, that's what he peels off his face. Is not actually
We didn't
Russia.
even know you
North
guys
Korea.
were here.
Oh, Sam didn't have headphones the whole time.
no, it's working now. We went out for a brief second.
Speaking of North Korea, what about South Korea and martial law, dude?
For real, dude.
So
Okay, I want to hear what
crazy.
you think about. Do you know anything about that or
Well,
like opinions on it?
I just know that the Congress voted against it, and the leader was like, "Nope," and they just and like so. I mean, it is full on. Like you can't protest, journalism, all the media gets absorbed into the government, and it's
And
like
they don't put a time on it, like, right? Like a debt, like, hey, this is going to end in 2 weeks, or like it's just like until further notice.
Well, no, it was shut down. So
Oh,
like,
okay.
the president, he said like martial law, and then
Yeah.
Parliament's like no martial law. But at that time, it was already too late.
Yeah.
Like everyone's protesting, and it's like a
do you know what they're protesting about?
I don't.
I
mean,
haven't heard that.
it's
They've
so,
never-
it's so confusing. It's just like I feel like there's very little coverage on what's even going on. There's a really weird conspiracy theory that was so off the books.
Let's
There's
hear
only,
it.
There's only one person I said
Okay.
or heard talking about this, that they said they issued. This is so weird. They issued the martial law because the Malaysian flight that disappeared supposedly landed in South Korea.
No.
And so it was martial law, curfew, everyone go home.
So it just landed. So it's been in a portal and it just appeared and landed.
Yeah.
Could
That's
be,
amazing.
man.
I
Could
love that.
be.
That's the best theory
It's
out
a
there.
fun theory.
That is fun.
I don't.
I should have
find
given
any
my
validation.
theory first because it's not fun at all. But I heard him talking about that there were like North Korean sympathizers, and like that's the excuse that he was using to issue the thing.
Yeah, no, I heard that it
That
was
fun.
I know,
he-
that's
he-
what I'm
he's blamed. So he's right wing,
Okay.
and so the left wing is just like they're trying to usher in this whole ideology or like plans or whatever for the country, like with running it through Parliament And so he was threatened by that, and so called them North Korean sympathizers
Gotcha.
and said martial law. We can't vote on it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Seems
Dude,
to be going on all over the world,
I
right?
know,
Where
that's
you're
what I was
having an
thinking.
uprising against the government leaders. You see that in Europe all over the place now.
Yeah, France.
Now-
What's going on? Have you seen what's going on in France?
It's so crazy.
The prime minister, it was the shortest prime minister, or his what do you call it? Term in French history.
Is it Le Macaron?
No, he's the president.
Okay.
Which I don't understand that.
I don't either.
I don't get the European politics.
It's just a title.
But it was like 3 weeks this guy was prime minister or
Oh,
something.
wow.
But now they're saying that the French government is dissolving
Oh my gosh.
and that the country's going into chaos.
So crazy.
Yeah. And then apparently it's being questioned and put out there that Trump wants Canada to be the 51st state.
Oh my gosh. What are you talking about?
That is so. I saw that.
Yeah,
last night.
Well, I mean, we give them
So
$100
funny.
billion.
Yeah.
Is
Is
that
That's
really?
crazy to me.
So he had a dinner with
Trudeau.
Trudeau, yeah.
Trudeau, and Trudeau's like, you can't do tariffs. It's going to ruin our economy. And then Trump's like, well, stop stealing $100 million plus from America a year.
Dang.
And then he's like, well, we can't do that. And then he's like, okay, well, then you can become the 51st
Oh
state
my
of
gosh.
America. But then Trump posted on his Twitter of like an AI image of him standing on this mountain cliff like in the Rockies with
Oh
a
my
Canadian
gosh.
flag and says, oh, Canada.
Who is his PR team? That is
I don't
crazy.
think there is a
I
PR team.
love it.
So funny.
That's crazy.
I love it.
Dude.
I'm all about that.
What was he had a line though? He said something like, "What does Canada call their president or prime minister?"
I mean, I think it's just president.
Okay, so
manager.
It's all confusing.
I think
Manager.
he said president sounds a lot better than governor.
Oh no, he offered Trudeau governor of the
Yeah,
51st state.
But he was like, it sounds.
But then I saw a Canadian from Alberta is like, don't make Trudeau the governor. Like we're all. She actually said we're all about becoming the 51st state.
No way.
But just don't make Trudeau the governor.
It's interesting, man. If you talk to Canadians, and I've been going up there doing stand up for years, I don't know anyone who likes this guy.
Yeah.
But so you'll have debates on the electoral college and why we should and shouldn't have it. And I go, if you don't have electoral college in America, you're going to get Canada. And what Canada is the city of Toronto, the province of Ontario, they decide the election every year.
Yeah.
So by the time they vote, because we got time zones, you don't even need to vote on the West because
Yeah.
most of the population lives there. And, we can get into like why they herd us into these big cities. So when I'm driving around here in encrypted country, I'm like, oh,
smart
this is so
cities.
great. You can live your life here. You corral us all into these big cities, which I think are like free range reservations, right? Like you think you're free and all this stuff, but everywhere you go, there's drugs, alcohol. It's like you're way more limited than you think. But So like you corral people into big cities. What are the big jobs? Corporations. Now you get people into corporations, and now they have to kind of play the game of groupthink if they want to move up and get a raise or a promotion.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of play with the group, what the group wants, even if they're getting the most ridiculous thoughts. You have to play that game, or else you never get. And that's how you promote people. That's how you
Yeah.
control people.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
It's so scary.
just like a depressing thought, and we're all stuck here now.
I mean,
But I think I think it's changing though.
I
Yeah?
agree with you. Yeah.
I think people are leaving the big city, realizing that's not what they want to do. Like, look at you guys are crushing it out here. That's like
thanks,
so
man.
amazing to me. Like, that's the beauty. Whatever you want to say about the internet, CERN developed it. I don't know. I think it's God given, and it's like really woken up a lot of people, and that's
Yeah.
why they're desperate to control it. And I just don't think they can.
I mean, it seems like what you said about Canada and their elections and stuff. It seems like that's what they're trying to do to like America. You know, it's just like just pump people into these big cities to where it's like a true election in one party's favor every single time.
Every year.
And I think this election was quite a shock and to a lot of people. And I hope that we can continue to at least be in a country for, I don't think it's going to last long personally, but I hope that it lasts long enough to where we can just have our own, like a true freedom in like
yeah.
democracy and whatnot. But I think it's all rigged personally.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You think the elections? I could see that. You know,
I'm fearful that this last election, we don't usually talk politics on the show, so but
Yeah, we don't.
I'm being careful. I think that this last election was shockingly in one direction to where it makes me suspicious. Does that make sense?
well, there's a lot of, you can get into that as well. You know, when I've been talking a lot about this, but it's like when you look at like when Obama came in, like we were kind of over old white old men warmongers, and who does he run against but one of the old white warmongers? So it's almost like they corralled everybody in.
Yeah.
So if you kind of study like what Trump is, like we're all over the woke stuff. So who do you have out there? The most woke human being you could possibly run, almost corralling there. And it's like everyone's like, how do you spend $1 billion? How do you lose $1 billion? You're paying for people to come to your arena shows.
Yeah.
Like that's what I think all the money, and they don't want to admit that's where all the money went, was filling up these arenas to give the illusion that she had this giant groundswell of people.
Yeah.
How much do you think they paid Beyonce to show up?
Dude, for real.
She didn't even sing. She just showed up. How much do you think they paid her?
Do you know?
At least $10, right?
Oh,
I think it hit it
I don't
10 mil.
No, I mean it'd have to be some huge to be in that position and like celebrity. Like you don't need to be going to a rally. Like I mean, it's all like they've been doing that before. I don't know. It's weird. It's wacky.
my personal opinion is that again we don't like to talk politics.
I'm sorry.
No.
It's our fault.
Yeah, I brought it up, but I think that the true shout out deep state that they're like 15 years ahead and like planning stuff out, and I think they have come to this part in American history and they're like, well, we know this is probably going to happen, so it's just going to happen. Like we're going to let Donald Trump win, right? But we're going to pivot. We're going to do this in this part of the world. We're going to do this in this part of the world. And it's going to project to this ultimate plan. That's my thought.
Yep.
And it's a crazy thought. I'm like the old man with the cork board with the yarn doing stuff.
But after COVID, like, is anything that crazy?
No, I know. Well, and that's exactly what I was going to say. That's, I guess, what I'm fearful of is like there was this great plan in his first term, and then COVID was manufactured. They're now saying openly,
which is crazy
in media.
Yeah.
And which is so crazy. And so I'm just anxious, like, what's next? You know, like, is he even going to get started? Because what's going to follow?
Well,
through?
you know, when Obama came in, he had everything: the White House, the Congress, the Senate, and then out of nowhere came this magical blue dogs. They're like, we're not going to let him just do whatever he wants. And I think that's how they do it. You know, you already have this woman in Alaska going, I'm not going to co-sign off of all of Trump's nominees. And you're like, oh, red dogs. And that's kind of because the whole thing is the lock it in gridlock that only the uniparty stuff gets passed without having a real debate and fight with each other. You know, it's interesting. So, you know, it's like how powerful are they? You know, it's like, can you from Switzerland or wherever the WEF is literally control the world? Can you do that? I mean, like, look, we had a plan here today and I showed up an hour late because and that's just a huge, great podcast, but that's what is this, 6 people here, you know, like, or 5 people, like, and that didn't go according to plan. So now you're like gonna run Switzerland. From Switzerland, you're gonna have the entire country, the entire world on lockdown. I think you know, if we're all spiritual and religious here, you know, it's like, are you going with God or are you going against God? And when you go against God, it eventually catches up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's my honest opinion. None of these, even Klaus Schwab, who's the most powerful guy in the world, we could have that we know of. I think if you know their name, they're not running anything. But, you know, that's the LARP presentation. But who is presented as the most powerful guy, right? I mean, he's not above God.
Yeah.
The black nobility isn't above God.
Well, with that too, you think like they would maybe start to get a little desperate in that, right? If they're losing the culture, they're losing the society, and they're like, people are starting to like wake up to the falseness and the lies that they've been told for years now, but then they're starting to sneak stuff in, like congressional hearing about UFOs, UAPs, and then all of a sudden it's like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. It's just like, oh, look at all these UFOs. There's drones over New Jersey and stuff. And so like, could this be this new? Well, COVID, right? So it's like, oh, well, now there's aliens and we're all under threat, and now you have to it's a lockdown.
We're your savior.
Isn't
We'll
that-
provide you with your help. We will take
Yeah.
care of you. And it's like, oh, thank you, government.
Isn't
Thank
it
you.
kind
Yeah.
of crazy
Don't be a
that
hero.
Three Body Problem came out right little before this, like at the beginning of the year?
What is that?
That's the Netflix show about this alien race that's coming, and the entire
Oh, yeah,
world
yeah.
just comes together to figure out how we're going to deal with these aliens they aren't going to get here for 400 years.
Yeah.
Right, but now you got everybody on lockdown for 400 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of that has been the whole thing that Ronald Reagan in his speech gave. That we're probably going to need an alien attack to get everybody to work together.
Oh my
And that's
gosh.
why I truly think that like angels and fallen angels, they're not dumb. They've been
Oh,
here
no.
before us, truly. And their technology, their wisdom, their everything about them, they're not just going to be like this like UFO tech. It's like, so that's why I think there's something more sinister to where it's like a replica of what the fallen angels may have presented early on, or if they're in cahoots, which I don't know
Well,
about that. That's
Yeah.
a far stretch.
The
but-
intellect of a fallen angel is an interesting concept to think about. We were talking before the podcast started, but just about like, if Lucifer or whoever, is leading a particular, influencing other fallen angels, like thinking of it like in context of like a hierarchy, like could you have a dumber fallen angel who is being influenced to do whatever? And I think of this whole thing, there's evil in the world, and so I believe at the resurrection of Jesus Christ, I believe that basically the victory was won, and the intelligent evil, if you can say such a thing, is gonna be taking frustrated cheap shots for the remainder of future, not history.
Yeah.
Remainder of history. That's a
Yeah.
weird
future of history.
future history.
Future history.
Futureness.
the future.
I love that.
That'd be a
Great
good
name for a
podcast.
band.
Hey.
Dibs. But
Yeah.
but really think about it. Like he lost. Evil lost, and evil that knows it, that's actually that connected to a supernatural past. Evil that knows they lost is going to be taking cheap shots the whole way out.
Yeah, because they'll be desperate too, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just like
Crushed
we
head, bruised
lost,
heel. Yeah.
we're going to lose, and it's catching up with us, and so
Yep.
we need to be all out. So that might be what we're seeing. It could be them too. It's
Yeah.
just like a desperation
I
attempt.
mean, what does the Bible say? He's a deceiver. He's
Yeah.
a destroyer.
This is great
There's
deception.
nothing that he can
Yeah.
create. He can only destroy, and he knows he lost. So for the remainder of time, what can I pervert? What can I distort?
Yeah.
And it's just destruction.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree on
Also,
that.
the plan of just like Satan, his one really good thing that he has for him is just mass confusion. So like if you have just, I mean, you look at our world and how connected it is with like media and our culture and society. It's just like you throw little bits every single day. South Korea's doing this. Russia's doing this. Canada's doing this. There's aliens. There's this. There's that. And it's just like you're just like,
Well, think
I don't-
about it.
I don't even know what to believe.
Think-
And then all of a sudden
yeah.
it's just like boom.
Well, think about him biblically too. Like he's musical, right? And so we talk about like if you go to a church and you like look at a smaller church and the worship leader is also typically in charge of social media and visual arts. And so you think about all of the things that are used to shape and distort and manipulate a culture. It all stems from that like initial skill set that he was actually gifted with when he had his place in heaven.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that those would be the tools he's using to destroy and distort.
I think all culture is manipulated. I think it's all manufactured. I think we mistake culture for our heritage, like our lineage, our heritage, our things we pass down to the next generation. And this group, whether they're intelligence agencies or whatever, they insert culture, going back to
I
the
get what you
easy
mean.
versus
Yeah.
easy
Yeah.
versus the simple. And I think that's to lead you kind of away from God's path. And, like the whole thing with Trump is like, I'm 52 years old. Okay. Like I've yet to have a president not let me down.
Sure.
So I
They
go
all
in
let
there
you
with hope,
Yeah.
and but I'm guarded, right? I've guarded hope, and I'll cheer him on when he does well, and I'll boo him when he does crazy stuff. And but we have seen in history where there's these moments with these world leaders where they kind of get like, I'm a real boy, right? Like they have that moment where they kind of like, hey, I'm actually have an opportunity to do something and save my people, because if you have all the money and all the power forever, then you kind of go, what's my legacy going to be? And you see it like whether it was Gaddafi and he wanted to get, them off the petrodollar into like this kind of Afro coin that would everyone be on. And you saw with Saddam Hussein, you see these people kind of wake up and they kind of want to do something better or different. I don't know if it's good or evil, but they want to go kind of against the puppet masters. Yeah. So you can go, Trump has this real opportunity to go down as the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
And there's very few of us who ever get to feel what that feels like and what is that pressure and how much does he want it and how much does he have to play ball.
When do you think the last time that America did feel that? Like which president would you say? I would say, I mean, it's been a long time.
He's got that picture right over there. I think that guy
was trying to do it.
I think Jimmy Carter tried. I think he just got really manipulated.
Yeah.
Like he got set up, but I think it was probably JFK.
Yeah.
I would have said Nixon. Thought he was a good guy.
Nice.
Hoover, I think.
Apparently, he was actually a good guy, like in real life.
I don't know, man.
Like as a personal, like apparently his staff, like the people around him, loved him. But like, I don't know. I can't remember where
Tucker's been on this kick where he's like, we need to like reimagine Nixon. I go, well, I get sent these, my fans are great and they send me videos that I would never have heard of. And there was a time where 60 Minutes did like really great work. And you're like, dang, that got to television. How did this get to television? Well, there was a time before, Clinton deregulated. I know I'm not trying to get into politics, but there was a time before the media was deregulated, right?
Yeah.
And there's this story, there was a lawyer in Boston that was like, wanted to figure out why all these Nazis are everywhere. So he started like doing a deep investigation, and he's just pressing the CIA, he's pressing the FBI. He does a Right of Information Act, whatever that's called, Freedom of Information Act on him. And he's pressing them, and they're like, fine, you get 1 day, come on down here. You can look at all these documents, but you're not allowed to take notes. You can just read them. And he basically saw the story that Nixon, Truman, and Rothschilds basically were part of who were like all part of Operation Paperclip.
No way.
Yeah, and you guys can find it. Look up the video.
Yeah.
You watch, you're like, this is insane that it got on 60 Minutes.
Really?
But it was there, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Nixon? That dog.
Hey.
But then
Still my favorite.
Watergate? More like, I don't know.
Why
no
did they
fate.
get rid of him then? That's the weird thing.
Yeah.
Why did he get rid of that? And
That's
then you get into
weird.
like what really Watergate was about, and it gets this whole thing. It's like, is there another layer? Does this story have a basement that we haven't heard of?
Wait, was Nixon framed?
Well, there's let's just say it wasn't about breaking into an office.
Right.
Watergate was not about that. That was the story we were sold on, and it was much.
They wouldn't give
shadier.
out for other reasons.
Yeah. They got the information other ways, let's just say.
And the only reason we're talking about is because that lousy duct tape on the doorknob.
Dang. Hey, but it sticks to everything.
That's true.
Okay, back.
Duct tape. Ninjas and Butterflies is brought to you by duct tape.
I love duct tape.
If it doesn't fix it, you're not using enough.
Okay, back to the deep state comment that you made about Trump's and like also Trump's appointees. Did you guys see that Kash Patel was appointed to run the FBI? And did you see his interview about it?
I don't even know who Kash Patel is.
He goes, the first thing I'm doing when I'm getting in there is I'm dismantling the deep state, and I'm sending all those guys. It's like 1,000 people that work in the FBI office. He's like, I'm sending them out to go be cops and go arrest all these murderers and stuff. Why are we paying 1,000 people to do all this crazy stuff? He called it the deep state, literally.
Wow.
I don't know how I feel about
concerning.
Like people who are that crooked becoming police officers. Like that's
FBI agents.
What makes them crooked?
Well, calling them the deep state.
I get what you're saying, Andrew.
Yeah.
No, we support the FBI.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Hey, I want them knocking on my door. Go FBI. Go FBI.
We've always been on record.
Yes.
We love FBI, CIA.
Yay,
Woo!
good
Not
guy.
crooked at all.
Yay.
Entertainment purposes only.
This is a comedy show. Everything's a joke.
Oh, but speaking of political things, did you know that we have an ad? Don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, I don't know if you know this, but Christmas is right around the corner, and you probably want to get some really cool gifts for your friends and your family, don't you, Josh?
Yes.
That is why you should get some note jotters, stickers, hats, anything you possibly want to love and shower your friends and your family. Guess what? You can do it by going to SundayCool.com.
Ordering your stuff today.
We're talking cups. We're talking hats. We're talking socks.
Sure.
We're talking blankies. We're talking t-shirts. We're talking hoodies.
But we got a lot of in-house stuff that can get around out the door today to you. So make it happen. SundayCool.com. Right, Josh?
Yes!
Stop. That's so stupid. We weren't even supposed to use these. Those were supposed to be surprises.
Wow, that ad was great, Josh. But I'm really tired.
You're tired, Andy.
I just wish I had something that wake me up.
Look in your hand.
Oh, no, wait, it's a magic mine.
Wow. Magic mine. Sam gets it.
Here we go, magic mine, baby. It's a clean energy.
What is it? 7:30 at night. Here's to tomorrow morning.
I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm gonna edit this podcast tonight.
Boom. Clean energy. Go to magicmind.com/ninja20.
Mother Nature's
it
neck.
ninja?
/ninjas. /ninjas. It's right here. Check it out.
They get it. We've done it enough.
Yeah, but what do they get?
Well, they get 20% off their subscription or 50% off their 10-day subscription.
Sounds like a great deal.
Sounds like a great deal. Of course, go to Magic Mine.
Yeah, quit using that Adderall stuff, guys.
Yeah, quit getting
Magic
monster
Mine.
drinks and
Yeah.
all that. They're so bad
Don't
for you.
poison your body. Get some good, healthy stuff in your system.
Use the magic.
It truly is the best. I actually really love Magic
Have you tried the gummies yet?
No, not yet. Oh, they got gummies, dude?
Gummies?
Let's go, bro.
They do the gummies, and if you mix the gummies with the drink, you're like,
You explode.
You just want one to run through walls.
yeah.
Fix
all
problems.
pumped up.
I feel like I'm Paul Atreides from Dune when I take the gummies in
Just
the
levitating.
yeah, just like la, dee, da.
And it's just what everyone hears while you're pooping. Just
Wait,
like, what is that?
Wait, it's
Josh
like
pooping
it's like the worm juice.
Oh yeah.
You know the blue
Saliva.
stuff.
What do they call it? I forget.
Tequila?
I think that's it.
Yeah, the blue agave, that's what it is, yeah.
Magic Mine.
Magic
The
Mind.
Dune tequila.
That's perfect.
Oh. Anyways, did you know that? Oh wait.
What?
Did you know?
Question corner with Lily, where the questions are fresh on her mind. Wow, that feels good to
5
say.
weeks.
I know. Okay, I've really been working hard on my list.
Sam's
Yeah.
like, what?
Okay. If you had to take your brain out of your skull.
This better be real good, Lil.
If you had to take your brain out of your skull to wash it, it's dirty. Are you using hot or cold water?
Cold.
Have you not asked this question before?
I've never asked this question before.
I feel like you
I've
did
never
at
heard
the very
anything like
beginning
this.
of this podcast.
No, she's never asked this.
heard
'cause
this
I've
question,
never
but I've heard it
anything-
before.
She hasn't.
Instantly cold.
You haven't defined
Then you
either.
get
of
a-
those.
For sure
then you get a
cold.
brain freeze, literally.
No, cold water.
I think you can feel the temperature because your stem is still attached.
I feel like bacteria grows in hot water.
No, but bacteria or hot water is also disinfecting.
Not if it's not boiling.
Which one shrinks the clothes? The hot
Hot.
water?
Hot.
Yeah, like hot.
So you want the
temperature.
cold water. Do you want to shrink your brain?
You want a
Cold-
shrunken
True.
brain?
Cold water shrinks other stuff.
Can't
though. I
shrink
don't know
much
how
more.
I don't know how the brain responds.
I was in the pool.
What?
Yeah.
Cold water does?
Shrink some stuff, not clothes. Anatomy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
stop it.
Well played. Well played.
Anatomy.
Dude, I would just pour like. Can I choose a different liquid? Can I choose like
Yeah, go ahead.
like hot ramen broth or something? Just
Come out.
just imagine that going through all the crevices and it's just steamy. a
Dude,
little
a
bit.
solid cup of pho.
You put my brain back in. I'm Asian.
Dude,
What happened?
I did-
I wish I had the gong. I would have hit that.
I wish we had a gong. If
wish
only
I
we
did.
had a gong.
Whoa.
That's bad luck for sure.
It's not well balanced. I gotta balance it.
Someone did say that they would wash it with 7-Up,
Ew.
which is gross.
Oh, man.
McDonald's said that.
Yeah.
How about Magic
McDonald's
Mind?
right.
For your Magic Mind.
Hey,
No, the ad's over. So we're.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're gonna cut. We're gonna cut.
Move along. Move along.
McDonald's Sprite though would definitely be a.
Where's it spicy? You literally just see the 4th round just immediately.
Anyway, that's my.
So that was
That's
5
good.
weeks. You had to done that for 5 weeks.
I have a lot of questions. If that wasn't very good, I have more.
No.
You don't. Sam's like, you don't deserve it.
I told Sam to say no. By the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I think I ruined it the last
No, it
time.
was
I had to
perfect.
make a call back.
I texted him. I said, "Hey, when we do the intro question, just say no because we're gonna gaslight my wife." And he's like, "What?" You'll get it. Yeah.
He's like, that doesn't make sense to an outside person, right?
Which bringing it back to the original question.
Yeah.
1 second,
Yeah.
because I really
Okay.
the holidays. Should we celebrate every holiday? I came across a holiday, and it's the craziest holiday that I've ever heard of. And I thought it was a joke at first. Definitely not a joke. They actually celebrate it. Today's December 5th when we're filming this.
See,
They're doing it today, the holiday.
Where at?
It's on a island in the North Sea, a German island called Borkum.
Borkum.
Very small island.
Oh gosh.
But they do this festival every year, and forgive me, everyone that speaks German watching this show.
Yeah.
But this festival is called the Klassum Festival, and it's a 200-year-old festival that they've been doing, and it's insane. It's the funniest, weirdest. Like it's like you're in another. It's like a fever dream festival.
Okay, what is it?
So
Isn't it?
December 5th, this goes back 200 years. The men on this island, what they would do is they would go whale hunting for months, and they would come back. And when they came back, they started this festival as you're returning home. The men are returning home. We're going to do a festival, a party when the men come back.
Like a homecoming kind of thing.
But the whole point of it is to show the women that the men are back in charge.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Every
gosh.
year, this
no.
little island in the North Sea, they dress up in sheepskin and feathered costumes, and they actually look super terrifying.
I
gotta see the
bet.
photo.
Very scary. But what they do is they walk around all day, right? And then when the sun goes down, then the young men that are dressed this way, they go and hunt for the women.
Ooh, scary.
So they hunt the women down, and when they catch them, they beat them.
Beat him up?
Yes.
What?
Wait, what?
Why?
This is horrible.
To show that they're back in charge.
I know now. I know what you said. Are they voluntarily doing
real?
this?
So yes, and it's called the I can't say it, the Klassum Festival. And they track them down, these young men. They're called the catchers, quote unquote catchers. They catch the women, and then they spank them in the buttocks with a cow horn. And that's the festival.
Oh, they just spank him.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't like beat them up.
Oh, okay.
but they
I thought they were going
It's
O.J.
Fight Club.
Simpson
Beat
on
them
everybody.
well, they've definitely presented it like they beat them a lot, but they definitely
Sure,
they
it's
have
changed.
a cow horn. They catch them and then they hit them in the buttocks with a cow horn.
Man, that is silly.
But then they've gotten so much flack
yeah.
of just like, you can't do that, like, right? You can't
You
hunt
can't-
down women.
You can't beat your wife with a bullhorn, bud.
Here's the funny part is that the women of this island, because they banned it, right? So this year was supposed to be banned. No more Klassum Festival.
Aw.
But the women of this island came together and they protest. They said, it's our tradition.
We need it.
We got to stick to it.
That's heritage, not culture, right?
Bang.
Hey.
Boom.
Hey.
That's awesome.
So tonight they are
Getting
partaking
spanked.
in
Some
spanking of
ladies,
the cow
some
horn.
German ladies are getting spanked tonight.
the Klassum.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I'm gonna text Kelsey. I'm like, hide. I'm on my way home. I've got a bullhorn. She's like, what? Why?
I need
What's a bullhorn look like?
Yeah.
I'm assuming just like literally like
Is
an
it a-
actual.
Did you say bullhorn or
steer?
What kind?
Oh yeah, bull like a cow like a bullhorn. Yeah.
That's got okay.
Like
That
a
can,
Viking
that can get,
cup.
The horn of a bull.
How do you hit? How do you like baseball it?
I don't know,
suppose.
dude.
I think
Hold
it's
on.
just a natural thing.
Is it just a tap?
I think
tap?
when a man just has a bullhorn in his hands, I think you know exactly what to do with it. And I think that's
how many women met their husbands getting chased and getting spanked with a bullhorn?
I'm the catcher.
Yeah, where's the Hallmark movie for this?
Yeah,
This is
maybe
perfect.
it's the #1 way for hooking up on this island.
It's scary.
Like nobody's dating anymore.
I have just Googled it and arrived at a place of the internet I shouldn't be.
Yeah, maybe don't
Yep,
Google
nope.
it. Glass jump. I want you to see these guys though, because they're actually really.
It sounds like a
really-
bunch of big birds just running around
Yeah.
with bullhorns.
Scary. Nightmare.
So much
honestly
scarier.
I honestly think we could go for the pod. I feel like that would be hilarious.
No.
To just experience.
Man, I've
Come on,
got
Will.
nothing
Will,
to lose
don't
on
be-
that one.
Don't
Come on,
don't
Kels
do
will
this.
do it.
I'm not
No.
interested. Scary.
You ruin everything. You never let us hit you with anything.
Anyways,
Worst.
oh wait,
We
here
look
we
for it?
go. I wanted to show you a picture of these guys because it's so scary. All right, so here's one of the costumes.
I want to see if I can run away from it. Dude, no. That's never mind.
This is a man that's going to catch you and beat you with a bullhorn.
Just sprinting at you in the middle of the night.
There's a seal on his head. Do you see
That
that?
is so scary.
There's a little dead seal on his head.
So weird.
How do you come up with those?
It's
How does
fun.
the
It's
British-
part of our tradition.
That's how
Come
you
down
know.
the Borkum. Let me
how
hit
you-
you with a bullhorn.
Look, he's literally holding the bullhorn. He's like, I'm here to
Spank my wife.
spank him.
Dude, that's a nation with
so crazy.
strict gun laws for sure.
Yeah. All right, Andrew.
I sent it to you already.
You gotta do a beat because we don't have our normal soundboard.
Yo, Ando, drop that beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew's got a reel and he's gonna show us right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now. Here we go.
Did you send it to Sam?
I'm about to send it. All right, Sam, do you got your phone on you?
This is just a new nightmare. Started hunting this year, trekking through swamps, and I will never go underneath the surface after watching this video.
Oh no.
All right,
Under
hold on,
the
let me send it
surface.
real quick.
The girls went to the beach today. It was cold.
I believe you.
All right.
I don't
Tell
understand
me
how
when
this
everyone's
happened.
got it.
Oh, gosh.
We all got it?
Got it.
All right, ready?
There is a leech in my eyeball.
No, there's
no.
not. No, there's not. Oh!
Watch the full thing.
Dude, tweezers. Oh,
Andrew.
Oh my.
This is like the scariest,
Go to the hospital.
scariest thing.
Go to the hospital.
Does it get worse?
Oh.
Oh God!
You see that
Oh
thing?
my God.
No.
You got to finish the video.
Yank it out. She's doing her job.
Son of a.
Oh.
Oh my. Have you guys seen whatever when you take a praying mantis, you put it in the water?
No.
What comes out of it?
Yeah.
Oh.
They have a most of them have a
Oh.
parasite that comes out the butt.
But the parasite is the size of the. It's like a second person living in you.
yeah.
Oh my God!
Do you think it's controlling it?
Probably. I mean,
Because they look like aliens, truly.
Those things are scary. I remember I caught one as a kid, and you're not supposed to. I learned that lesson. You're not supposed to like mess with them or whatever. But I was holding it. I was like, "This is cool," and then I like locked in and saw what I was holding, and it
Yeah.
freaked me out. I was like,
That's so gross. I had one leech on me as a kid, and that was like in between my toes. I was down by the creek, and I panicked. Those things are so
Dude,
gross.
I remember getting stung by a bee and thinking I got shot. Like it was like a drive-by. I was like, ah! You know, then I was with my daughters like over the summer and a bee hit me and I didn't cry and I felt like such a grown-up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, look who's all good. Nobody's crying right now.
It's not a traumatic experience. I'm going to remember 30 years from now.
Bro, but speaking of getting shot, United Healthcare.
Yeah,
Dude.
crazy.
dude.
You see this?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not.
When this comes out, which
But
is
have you
next
seen
week,
the new stuff?
with the bullets?
No, well, the bullets, but they think they got the guy. Anyway, so
All right, explain the whole situation. Explain-
yeah, let's-
So
'cause that's
basically,
not
there's
everyone
this
knows.
giant conference going on, and it's a healthcare conference, and because nobody likes to play deductibles, right? Nobody likes paying deductibles. How did we agree to that? All these like CEOs have like security, right?
Yeah.
So everywhere they go, but for some reason this guy didn't have security. And someone had the timing. He was walking there. They say he waited on the corner all day, like all night, didn't leave. The guy walks by, he bang, bang, click, it jams, bang, bang, bang. So they get to pull the bolts out. They have words on them. Like,
was it
depose, defy,
delay? Yeah.
Delay, deny, right?
Yeah.
Like it's probably the process of going through your insurance. So anyways.
And he had a silencer.
And he had a weird silencer on an old gun that they think wasn't meant to work together.
Really?
Or maybe it was a 3D printer gun.
Were they the bullets or the casings that had stuff written on?
I think
It was the bullet I saw.
they said bullets, but it would make more sense if it was the casing.
It would make sense. And then you don't know
Yeah.
what's real and what's not fake.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
what's
yeah.
fake. And so anyways, so there's all these great researchers on Twitter right now, and I forget the name of her account, but she's doing deep research into it. And she finds a guy who is like, I can track his city bike.
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, so this guy's tracking his city bike. And then all of a sudden they see this, he's at Starbucks and all this stuff, this assassin. Guess what? Turns out there's a good chance that the assassin is the guy that tracked the city bike. Data.
What?
I did not hear that.
What?
I did not hear that.
That just came out. And it's almost like it's like this weird Gen X or Gen Z kind of like cloud chasing, like weird thing. Like, why would you insert yourself into the investigation?
yeah.
Which is what somewhat like serial killers like to do too.
Yeah.
Right? But they see him because they see him at Starbucks, which is the most like Generation Z assassin is going to Starbucks first before you're about to off somebody, right? Grabbing a latte, then going and shoot somebody. And
I'm going to kill somebody without caffeine? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That's why you need Magic Mind, right? So then they tracked it and they see him. He's got the mask up, but he's smiling. He looks just like the guy. They haven't confirmed it's him, but it's really weird that the guy that was tracking the bike is suddenly got like the same kind of apparel. He's got that that Assassin's Creed hood.
It was the hood
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Man,
Dude,
that's
it's
scary, dude. And it's like he was literally going to an investors meeting.
Yeah.
And it's like they still had the meeting afterwards. It's like this.
They're
it seems
you want to talk about assassins? How about board members?
Yeah. No, seriously.
It's weird.
I mean, yeah, the fact that it's outside the building that they had the meeting. So it's like, those people still had to go into
there's no lockdown. There's no like, let's reschedule it.
They
It was
walked
just like,
past him to
They
go
stepped over him.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
They probably made jokes.
the
Coverage denied, and they just kept walking.
God.
Well, I look at the comments. No one had it's almost no sympathy for this guy.
Yeah.
And they're
Well,
all
he's
making
involved
jokes
in some crazy stuff, like some denying. Insurance is
It feels
just
weird.
crazy,
Well,
dude.
I saw the percentages too on like most of the insurance companies. Like the national average is like a 16% deny rate, and then when you go to his, it's like well over 30% denied. So,
Jeez.
yeah.
And there's something with like something's going on with money. Allegedly not maybe money laundering, but something with money that he costs the company a lot of money. So people might be upset about that.
Yeah.
Dude,
Sometimes
I mean, like you think of like the insurance and like pharmaceutical companies, like they probably have more pull within our society and our nation than we know of.
Yeah.
Like they're like the top dudes.
I mean, like how many commercials are just pharmaceutical commercials? Like in everything.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Pfizer. Like after they pay out $1 bazillion in fines for lying about their stuff, there's still a lot to keep going. It's unbelievable.
I mean, the Super Bowl was like their main sponsor was Pfizer, right? So it's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah. It's just super.
Do you know that
strange.
America, the United States of America, is the one of two nations in the world to where they have pharmaceutical commercials on TV?
Really?
It's
Every
not allowed
other
in
nation it's not allowed.
Interesting.
Crazy.
Now, I saw this clip. I don't know if it's legit or not, but he was talking about how we talk about it's something Alzheimer's and something else. But he's like, we're the only country in the world that calls it Alzheimer's, and the other is another call.
Alzheimer's and dementia?
Maybe. And it was because every other country calls it what? And everyone says type 3 diabetes.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's so interesting. They do say that. The
Really?
Alzheimer's
I've
is
never
like
heard that.
diabetes of the mind.
I can send the clip.
Yeah.
Like, it's a guy just, I don't know. It's just a weird.
I've never heard that.
That's
Well,
heavy.
you want to get into how dark pharmaceutical companies are. They supposedly had a cure for Alzheimer's, and they didn't put it out,
Crazy.
I believe that.
Crazy.
right?
It's
I mean,
all
they're making
profiting,
so
dude.
much money, right? They can't.
You
And that's
want-
the thing with
you
United
want
Healthcare.
sick
There's too
people,
many. Yeah.
right? These companies, they want sick people.
Yeah, they do.
Because they make.
You guys ever go to
bukus.
Canada?
No,
It's great. It's great. I mean, it is great. You go to Toronto, you're like, oh, this is what the world could be like if you didn't spend 50 cents of every dollar on your military. This is what they're very lucky because they're next door to like Grape Ape, right? Like they will smash anybody if they mess with them. So they don't need a big military. But
Yeah.
what's the purpose of me telling you? Oh, so you go there and you go, wow, man, everybody looks really healthy. The
Interesting.
skin's very clear. And you go, oh, because they're, and this is not about universal healthcare, but I'm just saying their whole health system is based on keeping costs down.
And ours is making profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. You're like, man, everyone's got good skin in this place.
So Canada wouldn't want to join us, would they? Like as far as their healthcare and stuff, because that would mean, like, for as far as like just everyday civilian life as a parent, would you want, as a Canadian, would you want that? You think?
Probably not.
No, I wouldn't think
I don't
so.
know.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
seems
I
like
don't
there's a
know.
lot of just benefits, and if you're living in Canada, you're probably living in Canada on purpose. Like you'd probably
Well,
choosing. most of the
Canadians
time.
are fiercely love being Canadians,
Yeah.
just like every other country
It's a choice,
except for ours,
Yeah.
where you're not allowed to be like that, and that's done on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're like Britain. Like when a British boxer fights here, the whole country comes here and sings, "Hail to the Queen" or whatever that song is. They love being British. Canadians love being Canadian. Brazilians love being Brazilians. Americans are the only ones where they're like, man, America, and that's all done as psychological operations.
Yeah,
I agree with
Yeah.
They try to push down patriotism for sure. Like
Yeah.
there's definitely I don't know, because there's just stigma and culture around it that they've obviously manufactured. Like there's, I don't know, just viewpoints on it.
Did you see though that the CEO of McDonald's came out and said that they're bringing back the snack wrap, and everybody's like, he's trying to save his life right now.
The what?
The CEO of McDonald's said they're bringing back the snack wrap.
Like the tortilla with the chicken in it?
Yeah,
Chicken
it's like
nuggets.
there's like a cult following for it. It's like an older
Yeah.
menu
It's like the
item.
McRib kind of.
But everybody's like, they're after CEOs, and this.
You want the snack wrap? I'll give it to you.
McRib all year long.
But what a great marketing that is, like, not to run all year long and act like there's scarcity.
Yeah.
Gotta get this fake meat while you can.
Yeah, and it's also a tortilla, lettuce, cheese, and 2 chicken nuggets. I mean, like, how hard is it to make?
Dollar menu forever. No inflation.
Please don't kill me.
Jeez. Oh, you said something on the Roseanne's podcast when I was listening to it this morning. You mentioned something that I want you to dive into. But did you mention that Bill Gates' dad was at one point head or involved in the Federal Reserve?
Yeah, he was in charge of the Washington State Federal Reserve. And he also established Planned Parenthood. So he was like
Bill Gates' dad?
Bill Gates' dad.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I mean, he ran the Bank of Banks. The biggest Federal Reserve is New York Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Which is the most powerful of all of it.
Yeah.
But the Federal Reserve in Washington State is very powerful as well, and he ran that. And the whole story of Bill Gates is like, you get into these billionaires, it's all LARPs and lies. And you study like Jeff Bezos, and like, he's the hardest working guy. He worked so hard. He just got in his garage and never stopped. And you're like, and his grandpa established DARPA. His grandpa established DARPA. He used to work in nuclear energy, and they brought him over, and he created the U.S. Government's Department of DARPA, where all the crazy stuff comes out of.
His father?
His
grandfather.
Jeff Bezos' grandfather.
Bro.
Mr. Bezos.
That's Mr. Bezos to you.
Yeah.
That's Papa Bezos.
Which is like you kind of get into like, if you're asking me, like Amazon is just a wing of the government. It's just like they're like, why doesn't Amazon pay any taxes? Well, why would the government pay taxes to itself?
Yeah, I mean the Pentagon, they failed their third audit.
Seventh.
Okay.
So they're going to prison though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I just want to be the guy who has to go ask them. Can we audit you again? They're like, yeah, go have a good time.
Yeah.
Do it.
Again? I thought you guys were still doing it.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Wasn't the early stages of Planned Parenthood, weren't they practicing eugenics on
It's all
Puerto
eugenics.
Rico? Yeah, true.
It's all eugenics, and like you want people to be able to have who can't afford healthcare to get healthcare. I mean, I think we all agree on that, but then you start getting into the darker and darker.
Yeah.
Like there always is the presentation of climate change is to save the planet. But when you really get deep into the guts of it, it's about destroying your economy and just taking away all your rights. I mean, that's what it equals at the end of the day. And that, when Trump got out of the Paris climate change, it's like people didn't realize what that Paris Climate Accord was. It wasn't about curbing anything. It was about basically making countries buy credits from this group called the Club of Rome, which is one of those old companies that or groups that just run the world. They're like it's right there with the Bilderberg Group. It's like one of those, like the Committee of 300. It's the Club of Rome, which is now in guess what country? Switzerland. They all I'm telling you, Switzerland. Like everyone's like, oh, this country, that country runs it. That's Switzerland. Nobody ever messes with Switzerland. They're always like, we're neutral. I'm like, you can do that. You can just tell everybody you're neutral.
Yeah, I mean, like World War II, right? They're just like, yeah, we're neutral. And it's just like, dude.
What?
Nazis are literally like, oh, they're neutral.
Yeah.
So you guys are perfect.
Not
you
neutral.
guys are perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Club of Rome has from the start started.
Club of Rome.
Yeah, it's called the Club of Rome.
Never heard of
I
it.
feel like I know nothing right now.
Yeah.
You're like the elder of conspiracies.
I'm blessed.
You are.
I've talked to a lot of interesting people that have told me a lot of interesting stuff. And so it's like that's all it was. So they didn't even want to get China and to get India to come in, they lowered the basically, or they raised the amount of pollution they could put out, right? So the whole point was to just kind of pound on America and cripple our economy to pay off this kind of tax to buy credits. So I could, the U.S. would have to go to Thailand and buy all these credits, which is just money going to the Club of Rome. It was never about cleaning up. And like, oh, we got to lower CO2. You mean the stuff that trees make oxygen with? Like, we're CO2. Like, the whole thing is just a giant scam to just destroy completely control us. So it's like, I don't know if you guys notice, but every day on the internet, there's just another video of parts of planes falling off, people getting in fist fights on plane, delays everywhere. Well, if you study like the UN or the World Economic Forum's like 2030 or 2050 plan, they don't want you flying.
Oh, really?
It's all about getting you not to fly. They want you to be so miserable. If they want you in a 15-minute city, why do they want you to fly around the world or fly around the country? And like whatever you want to say about Trump, he's like freedom cities. I'm like, that's a rebranding right there of a 15-minute city.
Wow.
That's it. They don't want you flying. That's it. That's the whole thing.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense, right? If you want to isolate these cities, like we've talked about before, the 15-minute cities, these smart cities, why would you want to travel the world?
Yeah.
Like, why would they want you traveling?
Yeah.
They the real stuff is to watch what they do.
Yeah.
And they fly in private jets on giant boats and own giant parts of land with giant buildings. Why they want you to be in a tiny house and drive a tiny car. You know?
Interesting.
Like watch what they do. That's what that's what the real stuff is.
Yeah. That's it, dude. I'm gonna go buy like 1,000 acres.
Or
Or a
tomorrow.
private plane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go buy some. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm driving around. I'm just like, oh my God, these people don't even live there near their neighbors, man.
Yeah.
They don't even see their neighbors. It's so great, man. I could live in Florida for sure, man. Like deep. I mean, now you got the internet everywhere. You just get a bunch of flat screens. You're good to go.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. It's like living on top of each other.
I know.
Dude, how is LA? Like, I've actually never been.
LA is like, it has this amazing energy. When you land, you get addicted to the energy, but it is artistically dead.
Oh, interesting.
It is like
stagnant.
Yeah. Cancel culture did a huge amount of damage, and everybody is just afraid of getting canceled to the point that you can't really. It used to be you can't really say anything. It used to be back in the day where like you would do your crazier stuff in LA, and then you go on the road and kind of simplify it.
Yeah.
And now it's the exact opposite. Now it's like you got to go real simple, and I can't do it. Like you give me 50 minutes, I want to jump into like, is everybody into Satanism? Like that's what I opened with the other day, and they're just like, I'm like, let's talk about it. Like, did everyone sell their soul? And if you sold your soul, did everyone get a cool gig? Like, or did somebody have to get like a herpes commercial, and that's like all they got for like selling their soul? So. They just stare at you. So it's definitely culturally dead. It needs to rebrand itself. It needs to shake off a lot of the useless bureaucracy of it. It needs to get back to art and letting people do art.
Yeah.
Have the artists decide what is artistic and not a bunch of suits.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Bill Gates, did you hear about what they're doing in the UK right now with Bill Gates?
Oh, yeah, they're trying them?
With the cow stuff?
No.
Okay. Well, this is like one of those, like, it's basically like the Fox News of, like, England, I feel like, or the UK.
Easy.
But apparently Bill Gates is involved, or he invested $12 million in this Australian firm called Ruminate. And it is they feed these cows a certain feed which eliminates their farts.
Okay.
And that is to help with climate change.
Like
less methane gas, right? Yeah.
Right. And but this chemical that they feed these cows, it causes it corrodes your eye, like human eyes, skin, and if you inhale it, it could kill you as a human. And so they're feeding it to the cows to stop them from farting, to lower climate change, but in return, it's going to be absorbed into their milk.
Yeah.
Which goes into butter, cheese,
their meat,
dairy.
I imagine.
Andrew's safe.
Yep.
But, so yeah, Bill Gates, there's a lot of flack, and he's like being like really gone after about this whole, because they're really trying to push it into the UK right now.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
Of all the things to change, that's it.
Cow fart.
Like they have to have a meeting where they're just like, what is the most ridiculous thing that we can come up with that we're going to shove down their throats, and they're going to think we're ridiculous, but they can't do anything about it. We're just spitballing here. Anything. What do you got?
No bad ideas?
No bad ideas.
Cow fights.
That's it. He's onto something.
You're hired.
As Eddie Bravo would say, you get your own island. That's how it goes.
See, that is so weird, though. It's like if you looked at all the companies that Bill Gates own, you really can't tell me there's not a better use of how he can run his companies better, more efficient,
or just,
energy-wise.
Change the world. And
show us how you can do it.
Yeah, but you're going from a point where you think he's coming from.
I know.
Like
He's a
my
good
favorite
guy,
thing
like
is
Nixon.
his daughter's like, all my friends won't talk to me because of my dad. I'm like, your dad's Darth Vader.
You and Lily are on the same page.
Yeah.
Lily's anti-Bill Gates.
Get him out.
Get him out.
Well, I've talked about this before. I talked about this on Roseanne, but it's like, we're really mammals. It's like Animal Planet, right? Like we're like this herd of animals going, and these apex predators come and pick off one of the prey, and the herd does nothing, and they just keep moving, like they just lost them. Keep moving.
Yeah.
Same thing with Bill Gates. It's like, it's like you could go, are there lizard people? I don't know, but they all seem to be related, and nothing seems to happen to them.
Yeah.
What is that? George Carlin says it's a big club and you're not in it.
Yeah, and it's just crazy how it's like nobody gets tried for anything. I mean, like if you go, we're on YouTube, so I don't want to get, but things that Bill Gates has done, you go, somebody should be in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, the mosquito stuff alone.
I had a bug on me in Florida. I'm like, oh, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
It had a QR code on it. Wait 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't mess with
Hey,
it.
I say we keep. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say don't. It's already jacked up. I shot that deer a couple weeks ago, and eating that, it's kind of crazy. Just it's not tender. It's there's no fat running through it, and like what a natural animal is supposed to look like, as opposed to
so crazy.
What
dude.
you ever hunted?
No, I want to, but I feel bad.
Dude, we can make it happen.
I'm not against it, but I just feel bad.
It's okay. We'll just give you a bullhorn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just
Now
go out there.
hit them in their butt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Spank them in the butt.
Spank them
Florida
in the butt.
deer aren't
Like the
anything.
Germans.
It's an alligator tail in
ginormous,
Florida,
so-
actually. So
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, Sam, you're going to move to Florida then, right?
I would move here tomorrow if I could get my kids out here.
All right.
I
My
would-
neighbor selling their house. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'll be here every day. Got another shirt?
Perfect. Let's talk more Bill Gates on Patreon.
Patreon, yeah. And
There's
then-
so many more conspiracies. I'm sure that we need to dive into.
Yeah.
One or two.
You down to do a Patreon
Yeah,
episode
sure,
real quick?
whatever.
All right.
I'm down.
Then we'll do it.
Cool.
I'm jacked
Awesome.
right now.
Sam, thank you so much for being here. Let it plug all your stuff. You got any new stuff coming
Okay.
out? Tear date?
So,
Tour date?
I have a new special. It's a little dirty, so if you're not into that, might not want to check it out. But if you don't mind it, it's called Why Is Everybody Getting Quiet? You can find it on my YouTube channel, samtripoli.com, or Twitter. It's doing really well for me. It's got like over 400,000. It's almost at half a million views.
Oh.
For me, the
Amazing.
Shadow Band King, yeah, it's great. I also have a comic book that I'm putting out called The Chaos Twins. If you go to
Cool.
chaostwins.com, you have kids. You're like, okay, what am I watching here on YouTube? What was that reference? For this, it's like, I'm doing it with a guy out of Florida named Paranoid American, and it's a comic book about my daughters. And they live on a block, and every house is a different conspiracy, and they just learn
awesome.
about. It's the way you teach your kids about how the world works. It's called Chaos Twins. Go to chaostwins.com. We have the second issue coming out. And then what else? Yeah, samtripoli.com for all my premium content. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome.
Sam?
Cool.
Thank you, Sam. You're the man.
Our conspiracy elder.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
We need to get like a oil painting of just him, and we just start putting up our fathers.
But
Yeah.
it has to be where the eyes move, and you guys just think I'm judging you all. No matter where you go.
It's
Sam,
just
do you
him
agree? No.
It's just him behind the drywall all the time. Just
Yeah. Or you go to patreon.com/ninjas of butterflies.
If you want discount codes, extra episodes early, behind the scenes footage. We do some live sometimes, movie nights as well. And if you want fresh merch for your group, your business, or anything, go sundaycool.com. We print the shirts here.
And if you want ninja merch,
You can get ninja merch specifically for this podcast?
you can. SundayCoolSwag.com. Go and subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Spotify and
Absolutely.
Apple.
And share with your grandma.
And
All right.
comment because it really helps.
Yeah. We'll see you on Patreon.
All right. Love you.
Love you. Love you. Love
Bye-bye.
Did I say ninja? I meant butterfly. The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful creations. I said empty your mind.
You learn martial arts! Ninjas attack!
Thumbnail real quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just stare at the camera, Sam. Yeah, the coffee's good, too.
Thank you. Do you want Mike in or out?
Out's okay, yeah.
Here we go.